A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secret Revealed Aftersought. So now, I'd like to once again ask everybody a question here. Out of all Ultra Blasters, which one would be the best you choose? I'm honestly not very sure about this one because after all, there's been a lot of negatory against this. So much, in fact, I almost regret picking this up because after all, there really has been a lot of things that people have talked about it that really upset me. Because of how big the Ultra lineup has gotten and because of how much better we've been getting, how has their first outing sucked? Well, you know what? I guess it's time to find out because first of all, this is the first blaster that they have, the Ultra 1. Fitting as it is, the namesake alone is probably not one of the only things to really regard the Ultra lineup. And quite honestly, I haven't really found the namesakes of all the Ultra Blasters so far to be as relevant as possible. I mean, there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as well as Project Dorado, Pharaoh, and Outlaw. Although Outlaw was just a prototype name given for the 2, and the Pharaoh is kind of more like an upgrade over the 7, but with some minor changes. And as for the Dorado, well, it's a different blaster in most ways. So, what can I say about the Ultra 1? Well, first of all, could you ever do that with some of your other blasters like that? Take, for example, the Mega Megalodon. Its drum was not as fluent in terms of its movement, but you know what? This one right here does a whole lot better. But if there's one major difference that I should highlight really quickly about this one compared to the drums of some of the other blasters that I've handled lately, then this one right here actually comes in pieces. That's right. It does not attach similar in ways to that of the Megalodon. You'd have to assemble this thing. Of course, the core value piece right over here, which is directly sat in on the inside, is meant to act like that of some, I guess, machinery that spins around, but in all cases, this thing comes in 3 pieces. 3 pieces. Now, in all honesties, I don't really have any gripes against it because I was able to assemble this thing in just a minute or so. So, fairly easy enough when it comes to assembly of the front drum pieces themselves. But I can kind of see what some people are agreeing on based on the look, styling, and functionality of the blaster, because let me tell you, the ergonomics on this, yeah, I have to be honest, they're not great. Yeah, I said that. I had a lot of high hopes for the Ultra lineup itself, and I've also made a lot of arguments against Dracthalassa's claims against the lineup itself. But I still like to wonder, Drac, how have they lied to us? Have they lied to us about the functionality of these? Have they lied to us about the color schemes? Have they lied to us about assembly of some of these things like this? I am very confused. How has Nerf, or Hasbro in general, lied to us about the Ultra lineup? How? Maybe it could be the darts. Because from what I've already figured out, it seems that they don't always go up to 120 feet. That's no excuse to say that they lied to us. It probably means we're not using them correctly. The Ultra Blasters, they fired the darts pretty darn far, and I can tell you right now, yeah, you know what? That's far. I'm shooting downrange right behind me, and you know what? You can figure it out for yourself. So, let's fire a few more here just for sake. And now I'm out here. I guess if there's one other thing I probably should talk about right here, it'd be the fact that, well, the dart shape in general, it's pretty different from many of the others right here. And I guess one con that many people are talking about is that, well, look at how this dart is put in. the end knob right over here, this little bit at the end of it, has to be protruding through the hole, otherwise the pusher knob won't be able to press it into the flywheel system. And you know what? If that's actually the case, then well, I'm just not having any gripes with that, because after all, I've already been through a lot of other blasters out there that were consistently worse. Like the Megalodon, for example. Its drum could easily pop out if you're not careful with it, and some of its functionality is just heavily flawed. It does get one of the lowest ratings out of all blasters I've ever put out a rating on, but this one in particular is actually a bit better. Especially because it gives you a little creative input, because you have to assemble the drum yourself. It comes in 3 pieces basically, but anyways, the drum shell is now one of the only things you can utilize. And with that, I'm officially out of ammo right there. That's a lot of ultra darts that I just fired off into the distance, and I can't really be sure from here because I am in fact aiming towards a wall of this building, but in general, do not press such critical claims against a Nerf blaster like this. Their ergonomics are actually fine. I mean, look at this. I'm handling it like a boss. Yes! A boss! Who would have thought of that? I'd rather not do that voice again. I was really creepy there, but I just don't understand what some people are doing to this. It's not like Hasbro even lied to us about anything in general. If Hasbro actually did lie to us about this kind of blaster here, this kind of lineup, then well, I demand to have an explanation about it. I demand to have proof on this. Because if no one's going to provide proof of it, then you're just part of the 90% of people that lie about everything on the internet. The internet is all about stuff that can never truly be proved because there's just so many people out there that don't have anything better to do with their time. They don't know what they're doing with their lives. They don't know what they're getting into. They don't know what in the world they're possibly thinking. So, Drac, I hope you're not offended, but piss off. This is not a bad blaster. It's not at all a mistake. This is something that was not doomed from the start. The Ultra lineup has had a lot of huge adaptations that I find very, very sentimental, actually. I find them to be good. Yes, good. Well, you know what? One last thing to do here. Time to go for yet another invisible integration. But I'm gonna have to cut yet again, so... Okay, now, here we go. Full drum, full throttle. Let's get it done. Well, that was a little strong right there. Out of all blasters that I've had with motorized functions, this one kind of tops them in many ways. I don't really see anything negative about this because unlike most other motorized blasters, this one uses This one uses C batteries. Yeah, this is one of the only examples that we have here that does not use D batteries, but C batteries. So, other than the fact that it can make it a little more lightweight and easier to handle or carry around with you, anywhere you can go, if that's what you're gonna do with your life, I could see that the Ultra One is a dang good blaster right here. This was a good start, actually. We haven't really had many blasters that were like this. They weren't necessarily high in capacity. there were not many examples of motorized Ultra Blasters, and on top of all that, who would have thought that Hasbro could equip a metallic paint scheme to their blasters? I'm not really sure any of us would have thought of that, because now that they do, they simply have this nice Ultra placard with a nice metallic gold color. That is awesome. Well, you know what? That's all I got to say about it, because there's a tack rail on top, a pretty good set of ergonomics here. I mean, this is comfortable actually. Really comfortable compared to many other blasters that I've had with a large profile in and of himself. The stock is actually quite good. I guess the sling attachments, I guess the sling attachments might be something else I could comment on really quickly, because whenever I'm trying to hang it up onto my Nerf wall, there's sometimes a problem with it. But anyways, there's dart storage in the stock for 8 darts, and the fact that you can hold a lot of darts in here at the same time. This is just impressive. So, yeah. Let's just take note here that not everybody out there can tell the truth. And for those who will be able to, like myself, the truth is the Ultra One is a decent start to a new series. We've gotten a lot of new blasters since then. More than a year has passed, and I could say for sure that the Ultra lineup is a date with Destiny. A big date with Destiny. Because of how big it's been growing over the last 12, 13 months, I'm really seeing a bright future for something like this. In all terms, the One is the one that you should take with you to any battlefield whatsoever. So that's pretty much it here for Aftersought. And I will be talking about more blasters, but for the time being, it's getting a little hot out. And I might need a shower. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.